Good morning, everyone. All right, so I'm excited to be able to present here. Thank you to the South Denver EDP for having us come talk about Centennial Airport, one of my favorite subjects. We'll kick off by starting and with a little video that will show one of our tenants on the airport and what they're doing with aviation and utilizing the airport to travel.
Aviation has been an asset that we've leveraged from day one. And when you've got 12 facilities around the world and you've got 6 right here in the United States, it's critical to get down there and to see your team. General aviation, the Centennial Airport, was one of the most important reasons for us moving our company from California, moved it to Colorado.
His story is about the use of airplanes to be able to get to a lot of places. These are time machines from my perspective. They shorten the distance between two places, and that is how you connect people, places, and product.
We need people that understand the value of general aviation and airports. If I can start my morning in my office in Denver, I can get some work done. 10 minutes later, I'm pulling the airplane out and I'm getting into the airplane. And an hour later, I'm with my team in Albuquerque. That's incredible. That's the power of general aviation. No plane, no game.
So hopefully a lot of you recognize the product, the 505 chili product, as one of their lines of food product that they provide, and they utilize Centennial all the time. I'll start out by just talking a little bit about the airport itself, give you some background. We're one of the nation's premier business aviation airports. We're a general aviation airport, so we don't have commercial service. We have 125 businesses that call home at Centennial Airport, so we're extremely busy for a general aviation airport. We opened in May 12th, 1968, so we just have celebrated recently our 50-year anniversary. We have about 1,300 acres of property on the airport, and we're open 24/7. We had 355,000 operations last year, so an operation is either a takeoff or a landing of an aircraft. Extremely busy. That's the second busiest general aviation airport facility in the country. We have over 800 based aircraft. And 5 very active flight schools. Currently there's a pilot shortage going on, and so the flight schools have been extremely active with their training of pilots. We also have a lot of medevac, military, research and development, recreational law enforcement flights that occur, as well as cargo and charter services. So I'll talk a little bit about some of the exciting projects that are going on at the airport. The first is some of the stuff that Sierra Nevada does on the airport. Sierra Nevada is one of our largest tenants. They have about, at last count, a little over 600 employees that work on Centennial Airport. One of their projects was the Dream Chaser. That was a concept aircraft for taking astronauts to the International Space Station. They were in competition with Boeing and Lockheed, I believe, at the time. They ended up not being selected as one of the prime contractors, but they're still funding the project and moving forward with this concept. They also have different light aircraft that they can utilize for light attack duties, as well as surveillance, border patrol. They bring the aircraft into the Centennial Airport and they retrofit it with all kinds of special equipment, and then they take it off and send it to the government entities, law enforcement, and military. Another company out there is Aerospace. They are developing an electric aircraft. In case you haven't heard, Centennial has a lot of noise complaints that we receive on a monthly basis. And so we're super excited about this. What's kind of happened in the aviation industry is that jets used to really drive our noise contours and our noise complaints because they were a lot louder. Now, as technology has improved in the jet fields, the jets are a lot quieter. And so now, instead of jets leading our noise complaints, the props actually lead the noise complaints. And so this would be an aircraft that would be utilized for training activity, both doing cross countries and doing pattern work. It's not completely silent, but it's much, much quieter than the reciprocating engine aircraft that are currently operating. On the flip side to that, Boom, this gives me a little bit of heartburn that they named their company Boom, since I oversee the noise office at the airport, but they're doing some really exciting stuff. So they're in the process right now of assembling the first prototype, which will be their test bed of their project. And this is a supersonic aircraft that they're developing. So they'll assemble this aircraft is being assembled at Centennial Airport. They'll be doing some test flights of that aircraft subsonic out of Centennial Airport before taking it to Edwards Air Force Base to do the supersonic tests. Once that has been proven, they're going to build their Overture aircraft. That's a 55-passenger supersonic aircraft. It's really cool because every single seat in the aircraft, it's only 2 rows, is both a window seat and an aisle seat at the same time. So that's pretty cool. It'll be able to achieve Mach 2.2. So they'll be able to go from, for example, from LA to Tokyo in 7 hours, which is about half the time of a normal aircraft. Also, you can go from New York to London in 3.5 hours as opposed to 7 hours. So once again, half the time. And it makes feasible actually leaving from New York, flying to London in the morning, being at meetings all day, and then flying back and being at home with your family. So pretty exciting project going on as well. We also have some really cool development going on in the airport. One of those is the Wings Boeing Blue Sky Hangar Gallery. They have a museum out at Lowry, and this is an annex to that museum. It's more of a flying and living museum where a lot of the exhibits are actually flyable aircraft that they can actually take out and rotate and fly and instruct kids in. Also associated with this campus at some point will be a kind of an observation tower and then a black sky that's focused on aerospace. Also on this campus, they're under construction now for the Colorado Skies Academy. It's a 6th through 8th grade middle school, charter school, that focuses on aviation and aerospace. So we're really excited. They're currently operating out of a temporary facility now, but they just broke ground on their permanent facility, so it'll be ready for next year's school year. VF Corporation, I know a lot of you are probably familiar with VF. They just recently moved their headquarters to Denver. They own a whole lot of different companies, including North Face, Smartwool, Wrangler Jeans, Van Shoes, including many, many more. And so when they moved their headquarters to Denver, they wanted to locate at an airport, and they're going to build a really nice facility at Centennial Airport. They're planning on filling this space up completely. It'll be about a 35,000 square foot hangar and then an office space attached, so a total of about 53,000 square feet of new facility on the airport. I want to talk a little bit about the economic of the impact of the airport. It continues to help generate a lot of economic activity in the area. Obviously, this part of Denver is very vibrant economically, and so we think we're a key part of that. Back in 2013, the Colorado Division of Aeronautics came out with an economic impact study on airports in Colorado, including Centennial Airport. And these are the numbers from that study. They're based on 2012 numbers. So just to kind of look at a high-level overview here, we had about 6,792 jobs that were reliant on the airport, either on or reliant on the airport. Payroll of about $404.9 million. Value added was $536.7 million for a total of $1.32 billion. So the Division of Aeronautics just came out with their latest study. They just released it last week, and it's based on 2018 numbers. They're calling it their 2020 economic study, but it's based on 2018 numbers. And so you can see the increase there from 6,700 to a little over 10,000 jobs. Payroll's gone up to $593 million. Value added is now $974 million. And then the big number is we went from $1.32 billion annually in economic impact to a whopping $2.1 billion. So we're super excited about those new numbers. Really shown how much we've grown and increased just over the last few years. So kind of what's next for us? We have one exciting project we want to share with you is currently our offices are at the base of the control tower. We've been in that facility for a little over 30 years now. And so we're kind of busting at the seams, and we're really excited about the fact that we're building a new admin building for the airport. So this is just broken ground at the airport, and it'll be about a 15,000 square foot facility. The intent is to have office space on the top floor, and then the bottom floor is more community space and meeting space, which we're in dire need of at the airport. And so this is phase one of the project. And at some point off to the left there, we hope to have an additional phase, and then hopefully have a big open space, a meeting space where we can have an aircraft hanging, and people can come and have coffee and hang out and do flight planning and all that stuff. So we're really excited about that, and glad we finally got broken ground on that project.